Let's move on to punk. Your first punk question for 1 point. Seminal punk frontman Jeffrey Ross Hyman was more famously known as whom?
One of the Ramones?
Yes.
Yes. I'm just trying to think which one of the Ramones.
Have a stab.
Joey.
Yes! Your next question for 2 points. American hardcore punk rockers, the Dead Kennedys, wanted to do 2 things. What in Cambodia and what to the poor? Yep.
They wanted a holiday in Cambodia.
Yes.
And they wanted to kill the poor.
Yes, 2 points out of 2. Your final question. Held in 1976, London's 100 Club Punk Festival was considered a watershed in British punk. For 3 points, name 3 bands that played on that bill. Yes.
Sex Pistols?
Yes.
Who else?
The Damned.
Yes, The Damned.
Yeah.
Susie and the Banshees?
Susie and the Banshees, 3 points out of 3. Now, I understand, Joey, punk is your strong point. You have a massive collection of punk records, is that right?
That's true.
A lot of artists cite you as a major influence.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Do you take that on board?
I mean, it's hard to know because, you know, everybody seems to have the same influences. It's hard to pick out, you know, and I'm a big fan of a bunch of bands, so it's hard to realize that you've influenced somebody else.
Has there been anyone that you've met that's surprised you when they've said that they're fans of your music and that you're a big influence?
Yeah, anybody who's said that.
Is there anyone you've met that you really didn't want them to be a fan of your music? I love you. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think Wang Chung.
At the end of the first round, let's do a score check. Miff J. Colin on 3 points. Alan, Antoinette, Jason in front, 6 points. Each team will be told an obscure fact with 3 possible endings. You have to tell me the correct ending. Miff J. Colin, here is your fact. When they were starting out, English reggae band UB40 got their instruments, A, after they fell off the back of the Beats tour truck, B, from a Birmingham school marching band, or C, from compensation money that the singer was awarded after a bar fight. One of those is true. Which one do you think it is?
What do you reckon?
They don't seem bright enough to steal something successfully that would be useful for their band. You know, like, even if it fell off a truck.
They speak highly of you. Apparently.
I would have to say C.
I would have to say it as well because we actually had the singer on the show, and this is where I feel this is a little bit unfair. But he spoke about the fact that he's still got glass in his face.
Really?
From a punch-up that he had in a bar. So I think you're onto something.
I
Mr.
think that you're
Mascis.
onto something because you're intelligent and been around, and you're onto something because you actually know that it's the answer. So I'd go for C. Yes.
Excellent.
The correct answer is UB40 got their instruments from compensation money that the singer was awarded after a bar fight. Amazing. Amazing. Alan, Antoinette, Jason, here's your fact. In August 1983, Peter Stewart of Birmingham made international headlines by A, disco dancing for 17 days non-stop, B, playing a guitar solo that lasted 8 hours and 32 minutes, or C, changing his name to Annifrid Lyngstad, Bjorn Ulvaeus, Benny Andersson, Agnetha Falskog, Abba Abbason. One of those is true. Which one is it?
The disco dancing is brilliant, especially for Birmingham with the accents. Just D-I-S-C-O.
Don't most guitar solos go for 8 hours and 32 minutes?
What's the longest you've played for, G?
8 hours, 15 minutes, maybe.
Well, I love the idea of someone changing their name to all of the members of ABBA. But then the Abbason at the end.
I reckon it's the disco dancing.
I like
the name thing, because maybe he just did it to wind up the call centre for his mobile phone company. Yeah, it's me again. Who's that? Say my name. Say my name. Do it properly. I want it correctly. I think the name. It's because the name. If it's the name, the world is a better place just for one group. It's a beautiful, joyful thing.
Yeah, we'll go with the name. We'll make the world.
a better place.
We'll make the world a better place by going that it's C.
The correct answer is Peter Stewart of Birmingham made international headlines in August 1983 by disco dancing for 17 days non-stop.
How is that even possible?
He was allowed to have 5-minute toilet breaks, and that was it. And he went for 17 days.
That's not non-stop.
Well, he made disco dance whilst at the toilet.
That would be impressive.
At the end of that round, the scores are Miff J. Colin on 4 points, Alan, Antoinette, Jason in front, 6 points. we show his team's photograph, you have to decide whether the person in question is a musician or a serial killer. Alan, Antoinette, Jason, you're up first. Here's your first photo. Is that person a musician or a serial killer?
He looks uncannily like the guy that put the bedhead into my head. So
Isn't this one of your specialist areas?
Yes.
Yeah, I like serial killers. I've got a lot of serial killer books in the house.
So, musician or serial killer?
I'm thinking serial killer because he's got the sideburns of a man who is rash with his decisions. he's grown a beard, possibly in some previous incarceration, and he's come out and he's thought, really crappy sideburns, I'll rock this. Yeah, and then somebody will go into a bar, a woman will go, ooh, you look like a bit of a knob, down, out. That's what I see. This is...
For some reason, I think it looks like one of the Walker brothers. But no,
So-
I'm going to go with that. I like the idea. What do you think?
I'll go with him.
Serial killer?
Yeah, let's go with serial killer.
That is the American country singer who gave us the 1982 hit She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft, musician Jerry Reed. Nick, Jay and Colin, here's your photo. Is this a musician or a serial killer?
Oh, that's an unfortunate shot of somebody. They just look like a serial
Has he
killer.
been on the show as well? Is that product in his hair, or has he just gone for the I'm not going to wash it for 7 years?
It could be blood.
It could be.
Ooh. So he kills people and then gets the blood and uses that as product.
Yeah.
Right.
Gives him a real sort of
Glow.
depth of colour,
Yeah. I don't think it's working for him, though. Really.
Jay, what do you reckon?
I don't know. I thought serial killers were a little more handsome than that.
What are you based on?
Ted Bundy, swinging with all the chicks, and luring them into his lair.
Okay, so,
What do you think?
musician or serial killer?
I reckon that it's a trick one because he looks too creepy, so I reckon he's a musician.
Miff?
I agree. I think that is a musician.
That is the German pioneer of electronic music,
Yes.
musician Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. Alan, Anthony, Jason, here's your next photo. Is this person a musician or a serial killer?
He's definitely a serial
Definitely a serial
killer.
killer, yeah.
Definitely a serial killer.
I reckon he's a musician.
Musician?
Yeah.
That is a wicked combo. That's an untrustworthy man. Like a musician, you would think it would flail around on stage, like a bass player or a drummer or something like that. You know, it would have sort of
Right.
it going on. Whereas that, only the calm hands of a murderer could have hair like that. That's my logic.
We trusted you last time. We're going to trust you again, I think, are we? We're going to go with him again?
Yeah.
Al?
You're the captain. For now.
Well, let's say musician. Let's take it.
Hard Ellen Burn.
Go musician then. Go musician.
Yeah, we'll go musician.
Okay, we're going to go musician.
That is French serial killer Michel. Nick, Jay and Colin, here's your final photo. Is this a musician or a serial killer?
He's well dressed.
Yeah.